As I sat down to write my final story for Discover Oklahoma, a flood of memories came rushing back from my first time on the show to the last few months.
That is rich with military history.
Any second.
I'm ready. What do you think?
To Discover in Oklahoma.
For the past 14 and a half years, I've had the privilege of exploring this state with an incredible team, most recently with co-host Lauren Nelson, executive producer Jennifer Reynolds, and videographers Tommy Evans, Chris Cook, and Brian Boone. You will never meet a finer group of incredibly talented and fun broadcast journalists, as well as amazingly caring individuals. All of them made every shoot an adventure.
I really love my job. Really, really love it.
Their passion for sharing the beauty of Oklahoma inspired me daily, and I will greatly miss working with all of them. And I've lost count of the many inspiring Oklahomans along the way who work day after day to make this a wonderful place to live. Oklahomans who are passionate about their work and care about what they do. Marty exudes a pride that lights up the room, especially when she is able to share her heritage and culture with Oklahomans, and her gratitude to the USA for giving her the opportunity to succeed.
People like you are embracing us, and I really appreciate that, because I think that's what I like to do, show Oklahoma that we are good people.
As with so many who have worked on this show, at some point our kids got to make appearances. That was certainly the case with me. My three kids, sons Dante and Joseph and daughter Alexa May, at various times were on the show, as well as my wife Larissa, without whom I would not be here today.
Rock and roll.
As for some of the fun I've had, and I've had a lot, I have zip-lined over beautiful Oklahoma areas. I've hiked some incredible trails, looked over breathtaking vistas, had a blast doing a golf story with Jeff Roberts at Lake Murray State Park.
In fact, you can see Jeff up there. I think he's looking for his ball right now.
He is.
And he's going to be looking for quite a while because I have it in my pocket.
Exploring state parks was always one of my favorite kinds of stories to do. From Romano's, Lake Murray, Sequoia, Great Plains, Lake Keystone, or Fort Cobb, just to name a few, I was able to ride horses, play golf, fish, take a Segway tour at Beaver's Bend. It didn't really matter what I was doing specifically at a state park. I was very content just to let the peacefulness and tranquility of the magnificent parks just pull me in, except for Little Sahara State Park. To go riding over the sand dunes was a rock and roll experience. I loved it. And food, I could do a full episode on the mouth-watering cuisine prepared at locally owned restaurants around the state. Some of my favorites include Papadillo's and Vito's in Oklahoma City, Gabarino's home-style Italian in Norman, Little Venice in Sand Springs. The best steak I'd had in 20 years was at the Vintage Steakhouse in Morrison, Oklahoma. But more than anything else, I will always cherish the people of this great state. Their warmth, kindness, creativity, and community spirit is what truly makes Oklahoma special. One story that always comes to mind was one of my first ones that I did on a place called the Sandusky Market in Pryor. Contrary to what this sign says, this gang is just getting warmed up. I mean, seriously, you know you're in for a good time when the drummer's playing a cat litter box.
And we also have another one comes in here and he plays a tomato box.
It was fun meeting Reba at the opening of her new place in Atoka, or interviewing Toby Keith when his restaurant at Thackerville opened back in 2010.
It's got great country food. Fried bologna sandwich. What more do you want, Dino?
From covering any kind of story involving art, like Gene Iron Man Smith.
I don't look at myself as a wow person. I look at myself as a struggling artist.
That struggle takes place in this one-car garage where Iron Man grinds out his art. Or feeding bison at the Old West Buffalo Company in Pawhuska. It was always an honor to do any story connected to any of the Native American tribes in our state. Making pasta was very fun. Going to a museum of any kind, making a candle, trying to make something other than a paperweight, learning the art of glass blowing, fly fishing, doing a show from a Tulsa Drillers baseball game, or simply talking with folks all over Oklahoma. Let me just wrap everything up by saying it has been an honor to have shared your stories, passions, and talents through Discover Oklahoma.